Behind the mask.
Yo, man, we back on the road. Got one of our, truly one of our beginning all-time favorites right here, man.
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP, everything wide receiver, Santonio Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening, homie?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me on, man. Appreciate this moment.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man, we see you dripped out in the gear. You got the bold coat on. You got the MVP. Oh,
Super Bowl, you know what I mean?
It
You got to
is.
represent, man. AFC, NFC, got the starter jacket here, you know what I mean? Just got this fresh piece for the game, so, you know, I'm dripped out.
It's only so many MVPs, in the Super Bowl game, right? How many is it? I know you know.
There is, I want to say 46 of us total, based on the fact that there's more guys have multiple MVP awards.
Yeah.
But under the 58, obviously, there are 57. But there are multiple guys that have multiple Super Bowl MVPs. But I'm just happy to be one of them.
And we are blessed by being sitting here with one of them.
So when you got that award, that announcement, what was that feeling like? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I won the game, and then they like, yo, did you know you was gonna be the MVP? Did you know you? We saw you do your damn thing, but like, what was that feeling? You know what I'm saying?
When I think back to that game moment and watching Debo run that touchdown, had he got
almost got hooked.
had he got one more sack in the game, he's the greatest player to perform throughout the season to win the Defensive Player of the Year that year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
To have that great moment in the Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
But all he needed was one sack. All he needed was one sack, and he's the Super Bowl MVP. And I sat on the sideline rooting for that.
Yeah.
Because he and I had talked at the beginning of training camp that season that he said he was going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm sitting in the hot tub with him like, yo, I feel you. That went out and became the Defensive Player of the Year that year.
He did.
So when we got that moment to play in the Super Bowl, I knew who I had on the other side of me. I had a group of guys that was so confident that they was coming to ball out no matter what. All we had to do on offense was just show up for one moment. And to have a quarterback be ready for that one moment, we practiced that, TK. We practiced that, bro. We practiced that throw every day during the offseason, all the way throughout training camp, all the way throughout the season for that one moment.
And I know you talk about you practice for it. But did it look the same way in practice that it did in the game when all 10 toes are down?
That shit was like,
come on now.
So I remember the first time we got into the playoff, the first day of playoff practice. We go down and we're in the indoor because it's cold, Pittsburgh. We're in the indoor and we lined up and we're running individual routes to run the corner route. The first we come in the gym in the facility. We did our warm up. Coach said we first gonna line up on the end zone, and we're going to work the play. First play Ben threw to me, I dropped it.
Well,
Coach said, it's cool. Don't catch it no more.
don't
What do you
catch
mean
it
by
no more. Yeah, I don't get that one.
Coach Randy Feetner came up to me. We had ran the play 3 times in practice that day.
Right.
And I dropped every one on.
wow.
He said, we're going to keep throwing this play. But if it come down to it, don't catch it. So you know what, throughout the rest of the postseason and the playoffs,
Yeah.
every time we threw that play in practice, I never caught it. The DB intercepted it. I dropped it on purpose. I let it go through my hands. I did exactly what Coach told me. He said, don't catch it. 2 weeks of training before the Super Bowl, we ran this play every practice to end every practice. The last play we ran at Super Bowl practice was the same play that they threw in the corner of the end zone.
My God.
Bruce Arians had this drawn up that this was going to be our game-winning play. So every time I ran the route, I just stood there. Ball hit me in the head, ball hit me in the back, ball came over the head. I put my hand up there and intentionally move him and let it drop. Seven had already put that in the back of his head where he wanted this game-winning pass to come way before I saw this shit happening to me.
He knew.
All throughout that offseason, we trained. He tell me to show up to the facilities. We gonna go over these plays here. I just want you to stand in that corner, that corner. We're gonna go to this end zone here. I want you to stand in that corner, that corner. Every day, that's all Ben did, dude, was throw me the football in the corner of the end zone. A 5'10" and a half receiver. That's all he practiced with me. I didn't know that that was leading up to the moment that it was going to be the greatest catch in Super Bowl history. A play that we practiced for so many days that Coach Arians called this play after I had just dropped the game-winning touchdown wide open for the end zone. I'm running a corner route by myself. Wow. And I dropped the ball wide open. Man, Ben walked back in the huddle and looked at me. Then he gave the play call.
The nerves.
I said, oh, shit. He finna throw me this ball. I came out of that huddle, and I was glued to the corner of the end zone, and couldn't nobody tell me nothing else was going on.
Yeah.
I had one job. Find a way to get to the fucking corner of the end zone. And when I broke free from the line, thinking that Dansby was going to jam me up at the line, and he pump faked me and almost made me fall on my face because I was that nervous, I looked at Francisco in his face and gave him a quick two-piece, man, and I knew exactly where I need to be at. Yeah. I looked back, and amongst the crowd, all the players running around, boy, I saw number 7 point and release that football. All I could do was watch the ball coming in the air, bro. That's it. Touchdown. Hines Ward run over there, grab me. You think he was in? You think he was in? I said, Hines, we did it, bro. We did it. He grabbed me, shook me up. He shook me up. All the players came in and jumped on top of me. And I just remember sitting there in that moment holding that football, thinking back to me being a child as a little kid, wanting to be remembered in the world. But I ain't never know how I was going to be remembered. That moment came on Super Bowl Sunday. That moment is now etched in history books.
Facts.
That I will forever be remembered for what we did. I will be remembered for what we did.
Yeah.
As Super Bowl champions.
So,
history.
With that catch and how it won the game for you, period. Reason why you hear Super Bowl MVP, and it's only so many of y'all. But the thing that people don't realize, that all 10 toes were down. Like I was just like, ain't no way Shawty kept his feet in. And and I know you got your foundation. It's the foundation, right?
10 all in foundation.
10
yes,
all in.
Yes.
So I was thinking, I was like, this is brilliant. He kept all 10 toes down.
Okay.
And now he's made a foundation off of it.
I get it. Yes, sir.
And if it ain't, I still like this.
Hey, I feel that. So to speak about that moment, and I'm going to get a little sentimental for the viewers, for the people.
Yep.
Because I'm a man of faith.
We're going behind the mask.
I got my rosary around my neck that's been tattooed on me.
Yes, indeed.
But I also keep one on me that I will, right?
Yes, indeed.
So as a man of faith, the image that we remember of our Lord Savior is him pinned to a cross with his arms spread wide. But where was his feet?
Together. Nailed to the cross.
When we saw that game-winning catch, and the only image that they wanted to give to the people for them to believe that I never got 2 feet, 10 toes down in that end zone was they showed the image of my feet being planted just like Christ on top of each other. So they never saw the other foot being down on the ground. But if you rewind it back that split second before all that happened, it's in the history books that I'll forever be remembered for having 10 toes down. But the image that is painted in everybody's picture is a silhouette of him before they took him and spread his arms out wing.
That's deep.
That will forever be remembered in every person's mind on how I was standing when they finally remember me when I'm gone. That I asked to be in his image. I asked to be a part of what that looks like, and I didn't know what that would entail for me. But when I stepped foot off of that field, when I crossed that white line, when the confetti was about to fall down, I remember standing there and I put both arms up and I said, thank you. Because I knew that I was there. So when they announced me as a Super Bowl MVP afterwards, that was all icing on the cake. I didn't even know that was coming. Yeah. I just wanted to be remembered for playing in the Super Bowl.
In his image.
In his image.
Damn.
Strong, boy.
Mic drop, bro. Like heavy. So how does that translate into your foundation and what you do? Talk about what you're doing with that.
So yeah, I created a foundation called 10 All In.
10 All In.
My goal is to help educate kids on mental health, STEM education, but we use the game of golf. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yes.
How can I help?
So now we're speaking about golf because there's so many opportunities out there for minority kids to see a better life and to meet other people. Mm-hmm. And we only see our own ways through our own future. But how many times has someone painted a picture and created a vision for someone else, and that had became a history book story told in our history? Mm-hmm. Tiger didn't say he wanted to play golf. Tiger never told nobody he wanted to play golf. His daddy said he was going to play golf.
Daddy said he was going to play golf.
So somebody painted a picture for Tiger to understand that, hey, son, you don't have to be like everybody else. You could be one. Mm. You can be the one that make a difference, the one that make a change. So what 10 All In is, we're dedicated to creating change in our environments. We're dedicated to changing lives of minority kids by educating them on how they can get involved using STEM education. Science, technology, engineering, and math. But we took it a step further and used arts and called it STEAM education, because now the mental health portion is what we focus in on the most, and how we educate our young individuals on their social emotional learning skills. The things that we were taught as individuals, which made us three up here today professional athletes. We took what we were taught as our learning skills and we applied them to a place that we felt most comfortable. So what if we got so many more minority kids out of that space of thinking that they're the next Michael Jordan, the next LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, and not the next Tiger Woods? We create an environment where they are forever can connect with so many other people other than just the people that they envision themselves being involved with.
Right.
So that's what 10 All In is. We want to change lives and help more kids get involved in this game, because it has opened up so many more doors for me as an individual, has created a platform for me to now host a charity event at the Super Bowl every year, where we're now giving these kids that recognition, and we're giving them a platform for them to see what change actually looks like. Yep. So if we're dedicated to changing, then we have to become the prime example of what change looks like. So I've dedicated my time to showing and educating kids how to play the game of golf. So I have a partnership with the PGA Foundation down in South Florida.
Okay.
And we help educate mental health to the First Tee programs. So we deliver a mental health program to the First Tee programs just to help them kids understand how they can captivate those moments as individual golfers. Yeah. Those moments where they get nervous on the tee box and they got a crowd of people around them. These social emotional learning skills that we teach them is going to educate them on how to become collective and respected and play in those moments, just like I was as a professional athlete in that moment where the Super Bowl was, all the lights was on. Everybody's watching. Millions at home, the people that you don't think are watching, they're watching. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen to our kids if we create change for them and show them exactly what that example looks like.
I'm down with creating the ecosystem, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
And you talking about doing it with the golf club, too?
Absolutely.
Man, where I sign up at?
Absolutely. 10allin.org, man. 10allin.org. Sign up, baby.
That's where you sign up at, man. Follow my dog.
Absolutely. I got a question, because what the Behind the Mask audience doesn't know is you guys play in the same division, and y'all had some battles against each other. So was there ever a moment, no lies in the lounge, where you was like, damn, if I go across the middle, I'm dodging 51 Takeo Spikes. He ain't about to put the smack down on me, man. Let the audience know what's cracking with that, man.
Hey, listen.
Or did you shake him? Because he had like he was all world, man. I know it's a couple times.
My balance was like a cat.
What years you were there? And
I was 98 to 02.
And you came back.
Then went to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then you came back.
And what was that?
Buffalo, where did I play you? I was, yes.
03.
Okay.
San Fran.
So I had already heard this name in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watch Sports Center, and I know as a wide receiver, these guys that play linebacker, they want to eat anything up that comes across the middle.
True.
And if it comes across the middle without a head hung on it, it's getting taken off. It's getting taken off. And I knew that. So when I remember playing against Spikes when he went to Buffalo, dude, we knew Sanchez, don't throw the ball across the middle. Put it a little bit on the side for me, because if he hit me coming across the middle, I'm liable to not get up.
Yeah.
So in the back of my head, when I got ready to prepare for games, I knew exactly who was out there looking for me. He wanted a piece of one of them little receivers that he could knock out. So you know what? I always had my head on the swivel watching out for you just as much as I know you was watching out. Because we had moments where we catching each other, hey, 10, hey, I was coming. You know I was coming. And I'm like, man, you ain't been talking to me, but you ain't been getting in my head. Nope, I ain't. I'm already scared. I'm going to keep moving. No, we're not doing that.
And see, and the thing was, what we knew was the scouting report was, look, he can do it in every aspect of the field. We know 86.
Yeah.
We've seen 86, and we've seen we can do. But this one right here, he's not going to let you get a clean shot on him.
Yeah.
So when I hear that, I'm like, man, don't you be coming in here scan these DBs. You can't get a clean shot.
Yeah.
I'm a decapitator.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that.
Ask me how many times I did it.
Come on,
none.
man.
'Cause
Zero.
you couldn't get to him. I see you.
Hey,
You two is the
we
next
knew.
level.
We're not coming in there. Hey, that little angle gonna change. I know where he thinking I'm gonna be at.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm gonna change that up. You know what I mean? Just a little smidge and turn that to the right a little bit. So if he hit me, he gonna get a little graze on me and get me down. But he ain't gonna hit me clean.
Never.
No, sir.
Never took a clean shot.
You see these neck
He
muscles,
still
bro?
got it. He still
You
got
think I want to let? You think I want to let that run me over, bro? As a 185-pound wide receiver in the NFL, I ain't getting back up on these shoulders. No, sir. I'm walking around there with dead shoulders now, trying to get a coach. Man, I can't. What you mean you can't get up? You play football. You ain't see the person that just hit me though.
Yeah.
That guy got a lot of power behind that.
Right.
we had some good battles, man.
Yes, sir.
Even when we were in Cincinnati, like, they hated to, like, all right, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, they were running the division. Really Pittsburgh. But we were always that team that will always be the thorn in Pittsburgh's ass. They can go out and have big wins throughout the year. I felt like we always had their number. Like we don't mess up the streak somehow. And we never got enough credit for it.
Yeah.
I mean, but why would you when you win it going 4-12 and damn 8-8? No. Yeah, if we 16 games, I'm thinking about 17.
Yeah.
In those moments, man, like you said, them battles came down to the heart of champions. And you had enough players that believed together. And in that Pittsburgh locker room, boy, when I tell you, they had already was embedded on what championship chemistry looked like.
A lot of people don't know that.
So when you walk in, your expectation is rose from the day you step foot across the wall that you're in this building, you're in this place right now. So we shouldn't have to tell you what the standard is.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Because the culture has already been established when you walk inside of the locker room.
Absolutely.
And I thought it was impressive. Anytime I would see you guys in the offseason, you never would see one. You would act as it would almost look like it was a Steeler event.
Yes.
Because of how y'all support each other. One
Yes.
traveling,
Yes.
they all travel.
Yes.
I remember
it was coach.
Yeah, you put nobody names out there, but
We're in the lounge,
Yeah,
so
we
gotta keep it. We gotta keep it a little PG. You know what I mean? A little PG-13.
Before we let you get out of here, obviously, man, you are here representing on the Super Bowl. You got your ring on. You shining for the BTM audience. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So you talked about champions and a locker room full of champions. So when you look at this game, who do you think is going to win, and which team has more of that championship mentality like you guys had?
I can definitely say that if we look at which team has that championship mentality, they are not in a sense even, but in the sense of even in the players that have been there.
Right.
Because Kansas City is only returning, 11 guys, I think, or maybe less, 8 guys.
I think it's less. I want to say anywhere from like 68, 68.
Right.
Yeah.
From their whole entire team from the year before winning the whole Super Bowl.
Right.
So now you're talking about the 49ers organization who has only one player that was remaining from the Super Bowl team and before, right? And that's Fred.
Fred.
I want to say he's the only player.
No, I think San Fran actually had more.
Was it more?
I,
Okay. And if it was, I need to get back in the books and do my history
No,
lesson.
you might be right. No, you are right. I think it's your point.
But
I think I know where you're going at with your point. Go ahead and lace it on.
with that locker room built the way it is on Kansas City side and the 49ers side, we're seeing the testament of championship players being developed. You talking about guys that are going out showing every weekend, like on the defensive side, on both sides of San Fran and the Kansas City, that they have the heart of champions, that they're going to show you why they want to be in this position. And they're not just asking for millions of dollars. They're showing you why they deserve to be these players. So when you put those players up and you look at the Kansas City side, you have by far the biggest advantage in your defense and in the star quarterback, a tight end that can't nobody seem to stop, can't nobody seem to hold down. That has been tremendous. And a running game of guys that want to be champions.
Yeah.
These guys see what they're doing and how they've done it for so many years, and the blueprint has been laid. Ever since Andy Reid laid his eyes on Patrick Mahomes, he had a twinkle in his eye. And he showed it the minute he kicked Alex Smith out the door. He said, "Let me show y'all what we got. I got a new shiny toy, and that toy like to ride.
Let it rip.
Let it rip." And guess what we doing? We listening that guy let it rip.
Right.
He's doing his own football style, and we're seeing it. We're able to capture those moments on camera to actually show that this guy has something else special inside of him. But then you got another side over there that said, man, somebody picked up a 7th-round draft pick. We got a number 3 draft pick here as our quarterback. We got a guy that we just got from sitting behind Tom Brady that just led us to the Super Bowl. But nah, it's something else back here. Like, Coach, this guy here, let's not sleep on him. So what Kyle Shanahan did, he said, hey, man, y'all move aside. I'm going to show y'all why we picked Mr. Irrelevant. And Mr. Irrelevant has confidence.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he has defensive players that surround him that said, bro, we don't give 2 F's about what kind of pick you was. You know why? Because guess who was Mr. Irrelevant? The only 7-time Super Bowl champion in the history of the NFL. That was already
That's real.
instilled.
yeah. Yeah.
So now you talk about what does that championship pedigree looks like? It boils down to who gonna want it more because they're already there. If someone is giving the flowers to Brock Purdy, at this point, it's because they're deserving. Because we have now witnessed what it feels like to see what the Mr. Irrelevant is really capable of doing when given that real opportunity. But more importantly, him taking advantage of that opportunity and saying that I want to be in this spotlight.
Yeah.
I want to do it for everybody else. Because me being Mr. Irrelevant, I'm going to show you that I'm not irrelevant. I'm the most relevant thing, you know what I'm saying, that's possible.
Yep.
And his coaches had confidence in believing in that. Now he's in the right place. Because had he not got hurt last year on the first freaking play of the game, we talking about another type of story in the history book right now, you know what I'm saying, that was written by them same guys that are back here today.
Written by the same one.
Written by the same guys.
You're
Because
right.
now they didn't have that, like you said. It didn't look like they had championship guys, but they did.
Yeah.
They just, their quarterback got hurt.
And it's just,
And it derailed their whole plans in one split moment that the first play of the game, you lose your starting quarterback.
that hurts.
We have championship in the making right now. That's going to be a great one on Super Bowl Sunday.
I appreciate
Yes,
the time,
sir.
my
Yes,
boy.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Appreciate it, T.
Thank you, dog.
Santonio Holmes, my guy. Appreciate your
it, man.
family.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Sir. Appreciate you guys, man.
Behind the mask.